Good morning. Let's get this show on the road. Stirring the coffee with two pig heads on a stick using the vortex method. The only true way to optimize the taste of your coffee at the molecular level. Good morning. Welcome to the Daybreak Show. Live, spontaneous. I am the Sultan. We'll get started, but first, coffee. And I wasn't lying when I said two pig heads on a stick. Bizarre right now. Let's try this coffee. Good. Nice. In Patrick Bateman voice. Nice. Perfect. Just the way I like it. Up a little late today. Slept late. It feels good. And I still have to get ready for my part-time job. I have fat in the coffee. Today's episode is brought to you by Wagyu Fat. This is Wagyu beef tallow. I put half a tablespoon in my coffee. When I mix it up, it makes it very substantial. It does not taste like roast beef. Doesn't make my coffee taste like beef at all or fat at all. The fat adds to the nutritional value of the coffee. This is about the size of a can of shortening. This is what it looks like. Just like this. It looks just like butter. And I use this for cooking. Last night I cooked my salmon in it. It was magnificent. It's about $29 on Amazon. I'll put a link for it down below. Wagyu beef tallow from the South Chicago packing company. Out of this world. This is one of the nutritional things that I'm using to get the muscles, decrease the fat, increase the cognition and the sharpness, and it's beautiful. It is absolutely beautiful. So we're talking about fat in the coffee, and I put a half teaspoon of mushroom powder in it, Sacred 7 mushroom powder. All right. Good morning, Daddy Longlegs, Jay Ron, David Molina, Ted 1775, Peg Bell is with us. CF is with us, Johnny Gomez, Mr. Ionut, tips on how to read more like a book a week. Discipline is the only way. Little Red Rose, good morning from Liverpool, UK. Stone Alone, good morning from Poland. Good to see you. Cheers to all my friends out there who are early risers. I normally am here an hour earlier, so I apologize if anyone kind of thought that they were going to see me early this morning. I still have to take a shower. But I am loving the early morning. I actually like the dark morning hours better than any other hours. I really do. It's just quiet. Housemaid is gone for 2 weeks. She broke her leg in Tampa, Florida. And so I get the update twice a day on that. And that's the result of Parkinson's. I'm just watching in real time somebody fall apart and being there for them. So that's kind of like a role in life that I have to play, and it is what it is. Anyways, it's very difficult watching somebody fall to pieces before your very eyes and nothing you can do about it. So that's one of my copes that I have these days. I don't speak of it much. Actually, this is the first time that I've spoken of it. The past 2 years, I've been dealing with stuff, everything from falls to loss of imbalance. Not me personally, but the housemate. And it's very difficult. Let's see. So this is a form of bulletproof coffee. This right here, and it looks. I don't know if you can. I don't want to spill it on the computer, but it is no different. There we go. It doesn't taste any different than anything else. I have a teaspoon of monk fruit sweetener in there, a little bit of half and half, the mushroom powder, and the Wagyu beef, which is flavorless. But it is one of the best fats that I've ever cooked in. Last night I had a salmon portion that was bigger than my head that I fried in a cast iron skillet out on the cooktop on the deck. So that was pretty cool. And it just made a perfect meal. It was so perfect. Yeah, if anyone lives in the Sarasota area, shoot me an email. Let me know. Just shoot me a note somehow, some way. She's in there. She's staying at her brother's house, and she was staying at a timeshare, and then she fell at the timeshare, and she's not. It's not an accessible. It is not an accessible location. She had to leave the timeshare and go and live at her brother's house. Her brother doesn't live down there. He has a big vacant home in Sarasota. So if there's anyone in Sarasota, just let me know, and you can stop by and visit her and say hi. And she doesn't know that there's actually live, real people that give a shit and care on the other end of this computer here. And I've got an army all over the world. Last night, did you enjoy the conversation with Father Michael Butler? Tell me in the comments section. Let me know what you think of that conversation I had with Michael Butler. I happen to like it. It's kind of fun getting together with a peer, someone who's born around the same time as you and same height and same weight and a lot of the same interests with theology and working out and working with men and this kind of thing. And he's done it from a religious perspective. I've done it from a secular perspective. So he and I share a lot of notes. To me, that is the original manosphere. The original manosphere is men sharing notes on how to help men. That's really what it's all about. It's not about weird politics and banning people and demonizing people. It's about men sharing notes. Yeah. Peg says yes. Incredible. Yeah. Yep. Good morning from Brussels. It's 11:57 here, so the quite late. I hate watch your videos. So quite late. I watch your videos regularly and apply your teaching to both my romantic and academic work-related areas of life. Fantastic. Beautiful. That is beautiful. Man, this coffee is good. I got up so late today. It was ridiculous. It's ridiculous. I hit the snooze. I have the Bach cello suite go off at 4 o'clock just in case. And I only say just in case because I always get up before 4 o'clock, wake up 3:30 every day, lay in bed for a couple minutes, and I just roll out of the sack. So I haven't had much of a chance to wake up yet. So I literally just got up, put on coffee, and hit record. Ian Simmons, good to see you. David Doucette from Texas is with us. Yeah. Noon greetings from Sweden. It's a good day. It looks like it's going to be a good day today. I don't see any sunshine yet. It is kind of a cloudy sky. I was outside already, and outside in just a t-shirt. Now, when you see me sitting here, I'm sitting here like in shorts and or pajama bottoms. That's it. In the morning, I don't even bother. Daybreak show is just me in shorts and pajama bottoms. Today is just the summer pajama bottoms and a t-shirt. That is it. Pleasure of coffee. Absolutely. The 4 a.m. crew is checking in. Beautiful. Jeff is with us. Good morning, sir. Cheers to you. It is a good day. Today is a good day. I have my phone here. I am broadcasting from my laptop. I have a new webcam coming in. This laptop is at least 10 years old, so the quality of the picture isn't my favorite. It's a 10-year-old camera, and I keep the camera clean, but still it's not as clear as I would like. So that kind of blows. Well, as I like to say, some of you are in a tough spot, and my hope is that you'll see something here on the Daybreak Show and when I go live that ignites a fire in you that cannot be put out. Some of you are in a tough spot, And I'm not here to entertain. If you happen to laugh while you're here, fantastic. That's great. That's like a little side bonus. Appreciate that. But I'm here for one thing, and that is to help you. Period. I was talking to some guys yesterday about hormonal birth control and some of the problems that they've had with their women who've been on it, and there's been fluctuation of behaviors. Not a big fan of hormonal birth control in women. I can't control anything that a woman does, but I'm not choosing a woman on birth control. That ain't going to happen. That will not happen. Gentlemen, women can change their mind and alter your trajectory with one schizophrenic decision. Isn't that crazy? How one person can change your trajectory with one decision. Never do anything for a woman that is not your wife. Even a wife can plan her exit months before she actually exits, even after a weekend getaway, anniversary, etc., trip, a cruise, or whatever. You have to pursue your goals with no one else in mind. If a woman wants to join you, she has to join you. You can no longer make decisions based upon a woman. You can't do it. Keep her at an arm's length. Let her come to you. Never put your dream or your income at risk. Thank the good Lord that I have not put dreams and income at risk. Thank the Lord. I've made more money in the past year for one reason. I have not put any of my money at risk. Thank the good Lord. So when she cheats, bro, respect yourself, bruv. From that moment on, she's lying every time her mouth moves. You believe nothing. Don't worry about being called a misogynist. Put all her stuff in the driveway or a dumpster or a box or something, or get rid of it. You need to create the funeral. That's right, you do. But don't give up your dreams of being a solid man who wants a solid family, you young fellows. I know there's a lot of guys that are like, what? You're talking about marriage? Yeah, I'm talking about marriage, of course. That's normal and natural. What's not normal and natural is to not be married and not be building. A wise woman builds, a foolish woman tears down. Look for a woman that builds. I said this 2 years ago. Look for a woman that wants to build. Hence the meme. You'd really work your ass off all day long, spending time so I can spend my time to keep the home beautiful and raise the most beautiful, loving kids. And Chad says, yes. Yes, that's what good men want to do. We're also aware of the foolishness of some of the women out there. You know, you take your time. Guys can get intoxicated with a woman's love. Like the Proverbs says, you know, rejoice in the wife of your youth. Be intoxicated with her love. Enjoy her breasts only. Don't let your fountain run out into the streets. In other words, keep your sexuality in the house with your wife. Stay joyful with your wife. Don't seek joy from other women. You don't even have to be religious or Christian to see that. You don't have to at all. It's interesting how Google is a search engine that makes suggestions for you. Let's see if I can quiet something down here. Yeah, I'm picking up the motor, the fan from the laptop. So I need a bendable arm to put a microphone on. You start to type a couple words in, but don't finish the sentence on Google. And I put in man marries, and then Google drops down a menu. This is what we get. Man marries doll. Man marries dog. Man marries car. Man marries daughter. Man marries imaginary friend. Man marries robot. Man marries stepdaughter. Man marries horse. What the? Parcel search for anything, and Google tells you what is the most popular searches in the world. Woman marries, and then a drop down. Woman marries ragdoll. What? Woman marries herself. All women marry themselves. Women spend more money injecting Botox, getting braces, teeth whitened, fake everything, fake lips, fake nails, fake boobs, liposuction. They get their eyes lifted, their faces lifted, they get blah, blah, blah. Like women are married to themselves. That's the reality. I don't know a lot of men that do. I mean, what I do for myself aesthetically, I go to the gym and I create this right here. I'm happy. This did not exist a year ago. That didn't exist a year ago. I could do something about it. It's fantastic. I'm a man. My body reacts that way. A woman, when a woman says, well, what about this? And she points to eyes that have been done. She points to a neck that's been tightened up. She's pointing to eyebrows that have been kind of pulled up a little bit. She points to the Botox. I mean, I got more damn wrinkles in my head. And I thought to myself, should I get Botox? I'm like, no, damn, I like my wrinkles. Woman marries ghost. Woman marries horse. Woman marries dog. Woman marries man in wheelchair. Woman marries train station. A woman marries the Eiffel Tower. What the? Seriously? That's amazing. Google is just an amazing form of content. Absolutely amazing form of content. All right, my bros. Smoke on this one here. A study led by the American Sociological Association determined that nearly 70% of all divorces are initiated by women, and the percentage of college educated Western women who initiated divorce is up to 90%. Man, that's a rough one for a guy who wants to be married. It's almost like you got to find a woman living in a cave somewhere if you want something that's going to last. Just you don't know what you're meeting out there. That's rolling the damn dice. That's Wheel of Fortune. You landed on only a 40% type of woman, not a 70%. Add college education to it, it goes from 70 to 90%. And just remember, gentlemen, you are in love with the dream and not her. The dream of the kids, the dream of the house, the dream of making love, the dream of her next to you. So when you go through a breakup of any type, you're not just missing the woman, you're missing the dream. That is why there's a scripture that says, hope deferred makes the heart sick. That's a phrase your great grandmother used at one point. Some of you don't know that. Your grandmother would use the phrase heart sick to describe somebody. What's the matter with so and so? They're never coming out of their room. She would say they're heart sick. Your great grandmother, your grandmother used to say that. You don't hear people say heart sick anymore. Instead, I'm depressed. I need to go on medication. It's heart sick. Hope deferred. In other words, hopes that you had in somebody deferred, put off in the future, or eliminated makes a heart grow sick. Terrible disappointment. That is what that is all about. You're not depressed. You are discouraged. Keep that in mind. You are not depressed. You are discouraged. I'm absolutely convinced that divorce should be illegal. The law encourages and incentivizes women to act like animals. Divorce being legal is the reason despair, anxiety, depression, and discouragement have skyrocketed. One person says, sound advice as always, Sultan. Always keep up the great work you're doing. You bring solace and understanding to so many. I hear what you say about walking and working out and how it helps. Yes, I was in the gym last night pumping iron. I feel good. In and out in less than 1 hour. My body feels great. I slept like a baby. Another man says, I sure wish I had you over the past couple years. Men, if you're going through a breakup right now, what he says here is golden. When you are going through it, you can't fathom what he says is right, but once you're through the pain, you will see that Mr. Bruno is spot on. Thanks again, brother. Great advice. Thank you, sir. Missionary dating. Christian men trying to wife up a worldly woman, thinking they can change her into a virtuous woman. Can't happen. Hold on, let me get my picture of Jesus here. Bring that up. I always got to have the icon of Jesus Christ visible somehow, some way. I want someone to be blessed with that somehow, some way. Just even the sight of Christ brings peace for people. Christian men trying to wife up a worldly woman, thinking they can change her and make her into a virtuous woman. Send her all the Christian videos you want, buy her a cross, pray with her, for her, be understanding. Bro, you are steeped in self deception. That's missionary dating. Like you are on a mission to find a Christian woman. And damn it, if you can't find a Christian woman, you're going to make one. This is how it works. Bro, brah, bruv. This is how it works. You find a woman who already is Christian. There's no arm bending, there's no prying, there's no convincing, there's no manipulation. Period. That's how it works. Anything otherwise than you are living in self-deception and you are just having a cup of self-deception tea. Hold on, let's have a moment of silence and a sip of self-deception tea. Ah, yes. And spray a little desperation cologne on yourself. So, self-deception tea, desperation cologne. I am ready for the world. You poured yourself into her, bro. You supported her in many of her struggles. You were always there for her. You always listened to her. You provided solutions. You were always understanding. And regardless of all of that stuff, she still split. My dear, my love, my husband. I bet you ain't going to be doing that again, are you? Not so quick. We talk about things like this because it's an evergreen topic. There's always somebody that's going through a struggle like this, and it never hurts even the happily married man and the single woman who thinks I'm a misogynist, which I don't give a flying fork what anyone thinks, but I don't purposely try to be a misogynist. Is your income from multiple sources? Is your income pandemic proof? When the next big old flu comes running down the line, where's your income? Do you have multiple ways of accepting payments, including gold, silver, crypto, cash, electronic funds, maybe even bartering? Is your income protected from anyone who wants to come and take it or claim part of it? Think, my brother, think. I know when I do my coaching, I've had people give me gold and silver rather than write a check or send me money via Cash App or Venmo. Today's tip jar is via Cash App. If you go to Cash App, my code is money sign George A. Bruno if you want to leave any money in the tip jar. And thank you for the super chats already. Never blame yourself for a breakup. Women can be a tumbleweed, just blowing from town to town. I've coached guys with all the right stuff, guys that got the looks, guys that got the money, guys that got the status, and they can't understand how she could just end it. They're at their wits' damn end because they got everything you would think a woman would want, yet she still wanted to end it. As I heard once in a prison that I worked in, they be trouble because that's what they do. Pretty darn concise, isn't it? Who can figure out the mind of a woman? I can't. Ian Simmons, super chat of 1999. Thank you, sir. You are an OG of this channel. You've been around a while. And we're a contributor for a long time. Your girlfriend broke up with you. There is one thing to be thankful for, and that is that you weren't married. Be thankful. Be thankful. You can tell a girlfriend, okay, time waster, go away, and never hear from her again. However, with a wife, you can expect to hear from a lawyer about everything from bank accounts, investments, the house, your stuff, your children, etc., etc., etc. This is how it works. You dodged a bullet, my brother. Bro, brah, bruh, bruv. Thomas Staten. Let's see. Thomas Staten just sent $100 to the tip jar. Well, thank you, Thomas. I appreciate that. I appreciate that, Thomas Staten. That's very cool. The tip jar worked. Thank you, sir. Thank you. My brother, whenever you go through a breakup, never try to get her back. Get yourself back. That's your number one task. The first thing you're going to be probably tempted to do is do nothing, to eat and to Netflix, to do nothing, to feel sorry for yourself, to be discouraged, not depressed. Remember, you are discouraged, not depressed. Super important to realize that. Do not spend 1 ounce of energy or 1 calorie trying to get her back. Create that vacuum. She wanted a breakup. Give it to her. Give it to her. Period. Zero contact. Zero. No contact whatsoever. Give her exactly what she wanted. You know, it's interesting. A job fires you. This is how men are. A job fires you, and then you go to work the next day hoping that overnight somehow they changed their mind. That's what it's like when you go through a breakup. Wishing and hoping that she will change her mind. And you show up somewhere. No more showing up. Send yourself flowers because you're a damn good guy and you care for you and you're getting yourself back and you are creating some new dreams. You are going to live in your beautiful house. You're going to drive your farm truck. You're going to be eating steak and salmon every other day. You're going to be lowering the carbs. You're going to be building the body. You're making yourself strong. You're walking taller. Chest out, stomach in, shoulders back, head held high, walking 25% faster. That is how a king moves. But he's slow to speak and slow to anger. That is what happens. My dad once said to me, "You sure can get them, but you can't keep them." I can't find a woman that's keepable. I can find a woman that's gettable. That's never been an issue for me. put me out in public, put me out amongst women, boom, and they're there. And they're there. No issues whatsoever. What I'm not doing is taking any of that trash home with me. You don't find trash and then bring trash in. Trash is supposed to go from in your home out to the street, not from the street into your home. So I'm not bringing trash into my home. What I'm not going to do is put myself in a situation where I got to wash my damn sheets every day because there's different DNA in it. The only DNA that I want in my bed is mine, period. I do not want my bed to look like a crime scene. Took me years to realize that it wasn't me. You know, if you are dating 10 women and 9 of them act a certain way, you can come to the conclusion, well, maybe it's me. Well, maybe it's not you. Maybe you're dealing with a generation of whack jobs. Took me years to realize it wasn't me. And the fickle, schizo nature of the modern woman is a plague. It is a plague. So stop it with pedestalizing different women. A woman is not different just because she's from a different zip code. Oh, you got to try the Eastern European women. Oh, you got to go with the Southeast Asian women. They're no different. Change the zip code. Same woman, same behavior. Nothing is different. Yes, I know I have the guys that married the Filipino or the Thai woman, and they've been married 30 years. God bless you. And I'm not here to put you down. I'm happy for you. I truly am surprised, but happy for you. And that's cool. And those are what we might call unicorns. One guy says, I'm sorry you haven't been able to find a good, stable woman created by God who recognizes who she is and what her purpose is in this life. That's sad. Keep looking. Maybe she will find you. Another guy says, many modern women are indeed a mess. So are many modern men. Okay, so this is a woman writing this. But a good, godly man can get and keep a godly woman. That's bullshit. Without God, it's hopeless. That's not bullshit. Unfortunately, many of our people only become godly after messing up in their 20s and maybe 30s and 40s, and then by then forming a strong white family is more difficult. Why would you want an ex back? You know why? Because she made leaving you look easy. Reminds me of I don't know if it was Alan Jackson or was it Alan Jackson or George Strait that wrote the song Dallas? Remember? Dallas packed her suitcase. Somebody tell me in the chat section. Dallas packed her suitcase and ran off in the brand new car I bought her. So there's some pretty crazy lyrics. And then he says, "Oh, how I wish Dallas was in Tennessee." Little mixing up of words. Typical country music kind of stuff, but it does make sense. What do? I help men get back on their feet after being knocked down after divorce. I've been doing it since 1982, my very first job. was at a drug and alcohol rehab hospital. I'm not going to say the name of it because you would know it. It's well known all over the United States. And I worked second shift as a counselor. I was in my, I don't know, maybe third or fourth year of college, and I took that job. And my job was just to be a counselor there and talk to men who needed help. They had their therapeutic schedule during the day, that programming, and then at night, usually when therapists and psychiatrists and all this stuff. And I was just a bachelor's level counselor. When all of the higher level people would clock out at 5, I was available. And I was a guy that would just talk to people like I'm talking to you from 3 to 11 o'clock. And that it would get real quiet after about 8 o'clock as people started going to sleep. So I help men get back on their feet, and after getting knocked down after divorce, breakups, job loss, widowhood. And the only thing that helps, this is what I found, the only thing that helps is the cold, hard truth mixed with a touch of empathy and 40 years of experience. Not only 40 years of professional experience, a bachelor's degree, an associate's degree, a bachelor's degree, a master's degree, 1,000 continuing ed hours, and upcoming an advanced certification in grief and loss counseling. Pretty cool. So I'm pretty darn equipped to do what I do. And I do it almost effortlessly because I've been doing it for decades. Now, some of the experience isn't just academic. See this gray hair? This gray hair is from some of the shit that I've been through. Some of the shit was stuff that I created myself. Some of it was just genetic. The wrinkles that you see are wrinkles that came as a result of some hard times. Not a hell of a lot I can do about it. Body, like I said the other day, got the body of a 30-year-old from here down, which is deceptive. I look like a young man from here down. I shouldn't. I look better than a young man from here down, because when I look at 30-year-olds today, it's almost embarrassing with the bellies and just skinny fat and all that. It's horrible. Horrible. And I can help you with that if you want. Just reach out to me sometime. But from here up, I look my age and older. And that's where the wisdom is, from here to here, not from here down. So when it comes to the ladies, I'm not here for the ladies, although I appreciate the ladies. I give a big hug to you. You are welcome here. One woman on Gab says to me, "You're a misogynist, a woman hater, blah, 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 blah." Another woman says, "We love you here." This was a couple years ago. "We love you here." And me and my natural cynical nature says, "Why would you love me?" Because I'm shooting out some truth bombs that aren't always the most friendliest. And her answer, I now use in marketing my own services. She says, "Because we have sons, we have brothers, we have fathers, we have husbands, we have second husbands who need to be men. And these women know better that they can't train their men. They need a man to train a man." And one piece of information that is leveraged properly, one little piece. For instance, when I said something like, "Men, you need to be the rock in your family, not her." The minute she has to start playing a masculine role and start making decisions and paying the bills and being the decision maker in the house, she's going to start resenting you somehow, some way. And you need to step up to the plate. That's number one. And that right there made women pretty darn excited. That right there made a lot of men scratch their heads, but they knew it was true. So they started asserting themselves regarding, let's say, Friday night. It's Wednesday night now. "Honey, what do you want to do on Friday night?" "I don't know. What do you want to do?" "I don't know. What do you want to do?" "I don't know. What do you want to do?" And it goes like this, like Jeff Higgins talked about the other night. "Hey, Friday night, I made reservations at the Capitol Grill. It's at 7 o'clock. I'm wearing a sport coat. I'd like you to wear a black dress and put your hair up the way that I like it. Be ready at 6:45. Now, if she gives you a hard time, that's a different story. But a woman wants you to do that, to be the rock, to be the guy that plans. Things like this are transformative in a marriage. I don't save marriages. As a matter of fact, I will help you get out of a marriage in such a way to minimize the hurt in your life and minimize the bullshit and the pain and the less begging, because there will be no begging. Look at me, bro. There will be no begging. So just some of those things can help enrich a marriage and make a man. I like to say, save the man, not the marriage. Strengthen yourself, and the marriage will get stronger. Marriage can also be interchangeable with relationship. One guy says, never thought I would actually witness this myself. Hardworking husband, doesn't party or fool around, but not a Christian. Got them a house. Most women would do anything to be in her place. But I guess she's bored or whatever and divorced him and went for another guy. She left the husband and both kids behind and moved on like nothing happened. He's lucky she doesn't take half of rent or anything. She just left everything, and she's a Christian and happens to be a good friend of mine. Who wrote me that? One of my female followers. That's pretty wild. Hey, what you guys doing? Critters are going nuts right now because they know it's food time. What's up, sweetie? Don't worry, good boy. God, they're so funny when they're running around in the morning. Oh my God. If you did not watch my video on how to fix a broken heart, you need to. You need to. If you were in the Philly area, consider going to the Jenkins Arboretum. Say no more. It's free. You can put money in the fishbowl as a donation. It is one of the most beautiful walks you've ever seen, and every plant, tree, bush, and flower is tagged. Bring your camera and just enjoy. And then thank me. Next time you're on, next time I'm on, say, hey, I went to the Jenkins Arboretum and it was magnificent. And there is an organization that you can join. I don't know, it's like $50 a year, where you can go to any arboretum in the country. There's a whole consortium of these things, and they are magnificent. There's nothing like going to an arboretum and being in nature. I prefer the mornings, never on the weekends. They're always packed on the weekends. Lunchtime, a lot of people will leave their office and go and take a walk or sit at the arboretum. But just Google arboretum near me. It's magnificent. And even if you did a vacation with your spouse, with your girlfriend, with your boyfriend, with your lover, with your partner, with whoever shares the other side of the bed with you, do it. Now, I don't have anyone sharing my bed with me, so it's always by myself, which I've learned to love and appreciate. But arboretums are worth traveling to. You get a hotel and then spend it the next day at the arboretum. At the end of the day, pack your shit and you go home. And you'll have a nice time. You really will. And you'll meet similar minds at an arboretum. I'm always looking for t-shirts with the best fit. I've already tried Fresh Clean Tees, True Classic Tees, Untuck It Tees, Nautica brand, Gildan Tees. And what you want is a t-shirt that's not as tight as the next size down. You want something that is a little more firm across the chest, a little tighter on the arm, and you don't want the sleeves going down to your damn elbows. So I'll give you an example. A lot of times they're a little bit more money, but you don't have to spend a lot. Gildan has some, and I will be posting the type of t-shirts that I'm talking about. They make all men look decent, even if you got a little bit of a belly on you. And I will show you. Let me just stand up here real quick. These are my pajama bottoms. So this is the t-shirt right here. This is from True Classic Tees, but I got this at a discount. These are raglan sleeves, which means that there's a seam right here. The sleeves don't come down to your elbows. They're about halfway down your bicep, so they look pretty good. The neck is not tight, but it's up high. It's not this worn out thing like it was on hanging around a barrel. There's enough at the bottom to cover up your shirt. You can wear it untucked. They're pretty cool. And you can wear it under something or wear them with jeans. And they look good, and they don't look like your father's t-shirt, which isn't a bad thing. So think about being a t-shirt guy. Remember, clothes make the man, but muscles make the clothes. I can help you with both. Some of my friends were the top hosts on QVC and Home Shopping Network, HSN. I used to get the lowdown on the best-selling items. For instance, Susan Graver, 3X. Can you imagine a 3X skirt? That's a big skirt. Susan Graver, 3X skirts sold at $60,000 per minute. Jean Bice, down in Fort Lauderdale. Remember Jean Bice? She would wear a headband. I ran into her in an airport once. She had 46,000 orders of her clothing in 2 hours on QVC, and fewer than a dozen came from new customers. They were all repeat customers. The first comic book show, my friend Steve Bryant tells me. Steve Bryant doesn't live far. He used to live literally a half hour from me. Now he's in California. I wish he would come back to this area. Good guy. If you follow Steve Bryant, he's probably one of the best salesmen in the world. His business partner was Ron Popeil from the Vegematic and I forget what that rotisserie oven is. Remember Set It and Forget It? That's Steve Bryant. He's a good guy. Steve Bryant is exactly 10 years older than me. I'm 63, so he's 73, which I can't believe. And he's a phenomenal guitar player, and he's one of the funniest guys I know. Steve and I became good friends probably, I don't know, over 20, 25 years ago. He was the most frequent face on QVC. The guy knows his stuff. He did the first comic book show ever on QVC. His biggest seller was called The Death of Superman. 5,000 copies at preview. They sold before the show even started. They announced it, and these people literally bought. So they bought 5,000 copies. He was limited at 5,000 copies, and even before he went live to be able to talk about them, but he still had to go through with it. They sold out. There was a PC, a computer that sold 11 million in 1999 in less than 1 hour. Imagine that. And the kitchen magician from Ron Popeil, who is now dead, he was a friend of mine for over 20 years. Ron Popeil was amazing. Ron Popeil sold 44,000 kitchen magicians. Do you remember the kitchen magician? It was a unit you put on your kitchen counter and had a chute at top. You put carrots in it or cucumbers or, like whatever. It had a crank. And then the sliced vegetables would come out of it. He sold 44,000 of them in 1 hour. Absolute legends. And then, of course, John Creeman's on, calls himself the Doctor of Shopology. He's a good friend of mine. He is in the Tampa area. He was on Home Shopping Network. I live not far from QVC, so I used to know all these people quite well, and I used to network with them, and I worked with them quite a bit back when I was in the commercial acting world. But two people who I became friends with were John Creemans and Steve Bryant. Pretty darn cool. I'll end this by saying, do you need an MC for your next event, conference, or etc.? Interview your speakers in a separate show for your podcast, a pro to keep the show rolling and confirm its value to attendees. I've done that for over 30 years. Just let me know. I will keep your show up and running, get people warmed up and laughing. And two things from John Eldridge before I go. He says, a man needs a much bigger orbit than a woman. He needs a mission, a life, a purpose, and he needs to know his name. Only then is he fit for a woman, for only then does he have something to invite her into. Wow. And finally, every woman in her heart longs for three things: to be romanced, to play an irreplaceable role in a great adventure, and to unveil beauty. That's what makes a woman come alive. I love that. And with that, finish your coffee, and I'll see you on the next Daybreak Show, your home of sanity, clarity, and reason.